Good morning. This is Alan Bragwell again, and I'm going to do a quick video here this morning and post it with some ideas on how to utilize uh, media to make some connections with yourself, with your family, and friends. Uh, Christmas Day and New Year's Day fall in the middle of the week this year, which is it happens every 7 years. But it does split the week up, and it creates situations where sometimes the gatherings, the family get-togethers, and even just being at home creates times where you've got some downtime, and it's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to have? What kind of activities are we going to do? I'm going to give you fair warning now during the video that Olaf the cat is lurking over here, and he may jump up here, and if he gets on camera, it'll just happen. It's part of live videoing. So some of the movies that are out that have been produced have an underlying theme that's real important, and that's transformation. The whole concept of our Christian walk and our lives are about change, liked or not. Sometimes it comes when we least expect it. And one of the things, and it's another undercurrent of some of what I'll be saying in these videos, is many times we don't deal with the changes that occur in the seasons of our lives very well. Perhaps some of these movies, and I'm sure most of you have seen most of them, if not all of them. But again, these are just my perspectives, and these are some of the movies that I suggest to folks that I talk with to ground into the idea of transformation and how it can make a difference in your life, and that these seasons that we go through don't have to be considered as difficult, but they can be part of the process. The first one that I want to mention is, I guess, my all-time favorite, and many of you like it, and it's A Christmas Carol. The one that I recommend, and I believe it's available free on YouTube, is the 1938 version. It's black and white. It's about an hour and 15 minutes long. It's really good. It captures all of Dickens' elements, and I know there's many other versions. The Patrick Stewart version's okay, and others, but I just prefer the 1938 version. If you get a chance to see that one, I highly recommend it. And it is something that the whole family can participate in. And again, it's something that you can talk about, because the way the acting is done in that one, it's just amazing, because you can really see a definite transformation the way it's portrayed. Another one that's very familiar is A Wonderful Life, the 1946 version. George Bailey and his life, of what he thought was going to happen and how his life turned out, and it changed. So again, A Wonderful Life is a good one. There's never any disappointment with that particular one. One that's generally available through some of the networks is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's the animated version. There is a live, I think, sort of quote, live version that's been remade, but certainly it's a great movie. It's a great show. It's only about just 30 to 45 minutes, but I just like the way the Grinch, his heart grew in his, and not just his cardia heart, but his emotional heart was transformed. And there's a before and an after, and that's the thing I like about these kind of movies, is that there's a before and an after. You can actually see the difference. And I'm thinking that you may have to search on your provider list and just see how it's offered. I know it was actually on broadcast TV the other night, so it may be, and I don't know who's doing it now, if it's CBS or ABC, but you can search the usual locations, and I think you'll find it. And again, another familiar Christmas movie is Home Alone, the original 1990 version, and how that Kevin and his mom, Kate McAllister, go through a change. And of course, it's a comedy, funny actions and slapstick kind of activities. And it's themed around Christmas. But the core of the thing is that there's a transformation that occurs in their lives. And, of course, the endings of these movies are really great, of course, which makes, I think, in our time that we're in, people are looking for happy endings in movies. Now, I want to give you another short list of movies that are not Christmas movies, but if you're still, like I said earlier, just like, what would be a good movie to watch? What's something I can do with some time that I've got here? I want to recommend these, and of course, as families, you may want to preview some of these movies before you watch them with your younger children, just to be sure that they're okay in your household and what you all like to do in yours. But in no particular order here, and none of these are, except Christmas Carol 1938 is my favorite. But these are movies that have, again, in the core of the movie, a transformation. And some of it is a thread that goes over a long period. The Chronicles of Narnia, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, is an excellent movie where the cousin of the children in the movie, they are living with him at the end of World War II, or toward the latter part of World War II, because of the bombing, and his name is Eustace Scrubb. And Eustace gets pulled into Narnia with them, and he didn't really want to be there. And isn't that like change in our lives? We get pulled into situations we really don't want to be into. But a transformation occurs in Eustace, and if you've not seen the movie, or if you haven't seen it in a long time, it'd be well worth your time to revisit that one as well. A little bit harder to find because I'm not sure if it was ever fully released on DVD, but it is available on VHS if you still have, is the original Anne of Green Gables series, particularly the first several episodes where Anne comes out of the orphanage into the foster home. And it's 1985 if you want to use that year to search, because it may, and again, I apologize, I haven't really checked to see. I probably should have, but I just wanted to get this video up today in time. But Marilla Cuthbert is the person, I think they were all affected, and even Anne was. But Marilla goes through a transformation, and I think it's really powerful. One of my real favorite movies, and I suggest this movie be watched all the time, and I want to pull up my little cheat sheet list here to be able to see the exact names of the characters, is the movie Seabiscuit, 2003. The main characters, there's three guys and a horse in the movie, but each one of them is going through a change process in their life, and there's transformations that are all positive. Charles Howard, these aren't the actors, these are the, actually this is a true story, so these people really live. Charles Howard, Tom Smith, the trainer, and Red Pollard, the jockey. Charles Howard was the owner. And then Seabiscuit, the horse himself. I love going on Google and pulling up original pictures of Seabiscuit in the famous match race that he ran. And it's just a great movie that, again, talks about transformation, and that's a thing. And last but not least, anything in the Lord of the Rings through the double trilogy, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit series, particularly the last scenes in Return of the King, and then also in the last scenes in the movie The Hobbit, the third movie in that trilogy, really reflect on the main transformations that occurred in those lives. And it's just great to see that, even if it's in some of it's fiction, some of it isn't, like in the movie Seabiscuit, that's a true story, is how that people are affected by situations out of their control, but then people come together, support each other, and work together. And it gives us hope and a future. And my last sort of a shadow throw in here, which you might find surprising if you haven't seen it, you might want to watch it, and it talks about transformation of people in kind of a science fiction way. And it's the movie Cowboys and Aliens, 2011. It's just a great movie that shows how people, a diverse group of peoples, got together against a common foe, and how their lives were affected and changed. Particularly, and I got Percy Dollarhide. Look for Percy Dollarhide and how he becomes a prominent person in the movie. So here's some videos, some movies, some things that you can do, seasonal related, and then if you've just you're burned out on football and other videos and movies that you can check out some of these. Again, I appreciate you joining me. Thanks for I appreciate the new subscriptions that I have in this new endeavor. And if you like this, please give the thumbs up. And again, have a great day and a great weekend. And I'll be back again soon.